begin.
Welcome, I am Brother Max. It is October 9th, 2025. You know what that means? It is day 9 of the 31 Days of Fright horror movie project, year 13. And today's movie is on a 9-day win streak here in the Dragon Stoop, and I don't see it being broken anytime soon. Tusk. But before I review how I watched this movie, I need to do a few things. A much neglected shout out goes to Data Trip, who created the logo for this channel. Thank you, Cam, and I hope everything that you are working towards works out for you in every possible way. I appreciate it. And you got the 13th Wolfman is watching nothing but Tubi movies, which is really, really awesome. And you got Echo, and you got Jennifer Tochi, you got Bones and Hobbs and Double Shot J and Jennifer Tochi, and who else? That I mentioned Echo, and who else? There's a slew of others who are doing it as well, or just keeping the spooky season alive, like in various ways, live streaming the 31 days. So just go show them some much needed love. What I'm about to ask of you by clicking subscribe, leave a bell, leave a like, and leave a comment. Especially and share this video. Especially leave a comment, because I want to hear what how yesterday's guest host did. Even though it may be some copyright infringement here and there, but I want to hear how he did hosting yesterday's video. So that's what I want to hear. That's what the comments I want to see. So now, with all that being said, today I watched Tusk in reverse. Now, this is a bit of, like I mentioned this this term, high concept. Okay, this is definitely the highest the concept ideas I got, is just to watch a movie in reverse. It was interesting to say. Was it bad? No. Was it good? No. Interesting? Absolutely, because you do see some things differently. Like that's what I wanted to do. I'm trying to experience this movie in many different perspectives as humanly possible, and one of them I came up with is watching it in reverse. And I always kind of these kind of horror movies work kind of well in reverse, because watching it backwards, because you watch this particular movie, Wallace, Mr. Tusk, he is broken at the end of the movie. Like you see a single tear, and then it like starts to rewind, and you see him like going through the struggles of the walrus in reverse, and then you see him like him like dealing with his abuser, basically, and then it goes back to him at the beginning of the movie, just all happy and giddy and whatnot. So it's just kind of a nice way to watch this in that perspective. Now, do I recommend doing it? No, absolutely not, but I recommend me doing it, because I'm a movie guy. Okay, like as you can see, like I got James Bond right here. I got you got Lord of the Rings right there. You got Battle Royale, Nymphomaniac, a Lars von Trier movie. You got Tremors right there. All my Quentin Tarantino movies, like I don't know, 15,000 Puppet Master movies behind me. You know, it's like I love movies, and I love to experience them on the big screen, small screen, phone, whatnot, VHS. Like, you know, blindfolded. You know, that's not. I'm not going to do that one. But I did watch one of the movie. Watch Tusk on mute, which is fun. But I'm not going to do blindfold. That's not one of them. One of the ways I'm going to watch this movie ever. But because I've already did just the audio way of doing it, and by listening to the podcast and stuff. So, but anyways, there's a particular scenes in this movie that really kind of like is interesting to watch an actor. It really is, because I always akin to it as watching Godzilla. Okay, if you watch him destroy a town and then you watch it in reverse, you kind of see some details here and there, like especially because it goes frame by frame, it goes by pretty slow. It depends on the speed that you put it on, but like if you watch it very slow, you can see some of the cool details that you may have missed because you're just in awe of a building falling down, but you can actually kind of maybe see the little bitty details in the building, or someone might have hidden someone in like a little figure in the building to fall, stuff like that. Like that's how you catch these things, okay? And there's, like I mentioned, there's a scene in this movie before, in one of the previous days, is that there's a table scene. And watching Wallace's reaction to Howard Howe's revelation of he can walk is pretty interesting, because you see his face of utter terror kind of just slowly go in reverse. And that is, to me, is pretty cool, okay? Like, that kind of stuff is interesting because you wouldn't normally see it if you're watching it straight forward, but like doing that in reverse has some like moments of like, this is actually kind of interesting, okay? So, but yeah, this is one of the more high concept ideas I have thought of for this, is because it's different. It really is, because I really do like watching movies. Like as I just listed everything, but I am a movie person. I really is. It's over wrestling. It's over. I know Kevin Smith is a director, but like movies are over him. Okay, like he may be my favorite director, but like I will choose movies over him. If that makes sense. Like you can only watch Kevin Smith movies, or you can watch movies. I'm like, I'll choose watching movies forever. And it's kind of a nice little loophole because his movies will fit right in. And I know that kind of sounds weird to say it that way, but it is true. And watching it in reverse has some other like weirdly comedic moments. Like it makes some moments even more comedic because there's ways that the camera moves, or it zooms in, and then when it reverses, it kind of does a reverse zoom, and it's like it kind of like it adds a little bit more comedic effect to a scene that's already kind of goofy in all honesty, but it's just you can't help but laugh. It's like, oh my god, like the zoom in works better than the zoom out. Okay, so and as well as like there's some things. Oh, there's a staircase scene where they're trying, like Haley Joel Osment and Jennifer Genesis Rodriguez are breaking into the Howard Howe's house, and there's like when they're trying to be all like copish, like they're trying to be like going in stealthy and whatnot, and they're being like holding the guns a certain way. Anyway, it's just kind of watching that scene in reverse is funny as well. So it inadvertently made Tusk more funny. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. But other than that, I don't see me doing this way ever again. I will watch this movie in black and white 100 more times than I would ever do this in reverse. But like I mentioned, I like to experiment with my movies and whatnot. Like I would like to watch like Reanimator in green, because that's like a color that's very prominent in that movie. Like that would be interesting to see. I would like to also like that would be fun to watch it, to watch that kind of with like a green tint to it. So like that's what I'm talking about. I like to experiment with movies regardless if it works or not. In reverse, it doesn't really work. Okay, it was just a high concept idea. Okay, and whatnot. But that's all I really have to say about this. And I hope you kind of like forgive me for this, because it's different. I understand it's not going to be for everyone and whatnot. And I have an idea. I have a feeling this one may be one of my lowest views of the videos, but I understand. But I love it anyways. I really do. And I love my effort that I put into it for today. So that is all. I am Brother Max, and all I can really say is to all of you is to stay safe, have a very spooky season, and as well as thank you.